General Hospital spoilers for Friday, May 2 reveal that Drew Kane will get blood test results while some boozy bonfire drama plays out. Carly Spencer will also confront Nina Reeves with proof, so here's what viewers can look forward to. For starters, Lulu Spencer will ask Dante Falconeri why Brooke Lynn Quartermain's feelings are more important than her own. Dante will be sorry if he's made Lulu feel that way, so they'll have emotional conversation. One that could end with Lulu blurting out that she still loves him. Speaking of blurting things out, Brooke Lynn just told Tracy Quartermain about her teenage pregnancy and secret adoption. Tracy will wonder if Brooke Lynn regrets her decision to give the baby up, so she'll encourage Brooke Lynn to share where her head's at. Next, Lois Cerullo will chat with Maxie Jones and admit she thinks Brooke Lynn's going to need a friend like her. Maxie may get the feeling that Lois is withholding info and wonder what's really going on. At some point, Lois will find herself backed into a difficult corner. There's a good chance Tracy will confront Lois about the buried adoption now that Brooke Lynn has blabbed. Back with Maxie, she'll face someone's ultimatum on Friday's episode, so it sounds like she'll land in a tight spot of her own. Meanwhile, Danny Morgan will continue steering Rocco Falconeri down the wrong path. Now that Danny's convinced Rocco to attend the college bonfire, they'll head to the beach and apparently wind up drinking there. Danny will think this is how they blend in and will urge Rocco to down some booze too, but they could both land in serious trouble by the end of the night. Emma Scorpio Drake will joke about not being afraid of Giovanni Gio Palmieri as they spend some time at the bonfire as well. This will be an opportunity for Emma to unwind after working so hard on her data model for Professor Henry Hank Dalton's class. However, Jocelyn Jacks will use this bonfire as part of her mission now that she's teamed up with Vaughn to sabotage Emma. Jocelyn has made predictions about derailing the competition, so she'll work to get that thumb drive away from Emma and corrupt it with Vaughn's help. Over with Carly, she'll confront Nina with some security footage that points to her guilt and push for a confession. Nina may end up admitting her Jacinda scheme and how far she went to get Drew out of Willow Corintho's life. That scheme could be in jeopardy now that Willow has agreed to accompany Drew to GH for a blood test. Isaiah Gannon will eventually reveal the results, so will there be evidence of ketamine in Drew's system? That probably depends on whether Portia Robinson can get Brad Cooper to alter the results before Drew receives them. Finally, Max Scorpio will find out about some criminal activity. Will that involve Drew's accusations about being targeted, or will this be about some bonfire drama instead? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. In a dramatic turning point for General Hospital, Sonny Corinthos has made the monumental decision to exit the mob world, triggering an unprecedented transformation in Port Charles. After years of reigning as the city's most formidable power broker, Sonny's departure is not only a personal journey toward reinvention, but also a seismic disruption to the long-standing order that has kept rival factions, allies, and enemies in check. This isn't a sudden exit. It's the result of profound introspection following a series of traumatic events. Sonny's withdrawal leaves a dangerous power vacuum, forcing all underground players to reconfigure alliances, rivalries, and strategies. The unwritten codes and balances Sonny once maintained are now obsolete, ushering in a volatile period of reorganization across the criminal and political landscape. Psychologically, Sonny's departure challenges his identity and relationships. Rebuilding a life without the weight of power or the shield of his former position demands confronting internal conflicts, family expectations, and the risk of alienating longtime associates. Characters like Jason, Carly, and Brick now find themselves navigating a world with shifting rules and fading protection. At the core of this shift is Sonny's unexpected decision to appoint Brennan, once an adversary, as his successor. Brennan's composed demeanor, strategic insight, and demonstrated loyalty during high-stakes events earned him this critical role. His leadership marks a new era defined not by dominance, but by adaptability, collaboration, and modernized principles of control. Brennan's rise is bolstered by a strategic alliance with Brick and Jason, who work behind the scenes to ensure a smooth transition. Brick's calculated resource management and Jason's silent strength form a protective shield, deterring internal dissent and external threats. Together, they redefine the power structure as a cooperative empire rooted in mutual respect and shared authority, an innovation in a city once governed by a single force. Yet, external threats loom. Michael's tense return to Port Charles reveals the emergence of Sidwell, a figure whose criminal network is spreading rapidly. Michael's investigation uncovers a sophisticated operation threatening not just personal safety, but the structural integrity of powerful families. As alliances crack and betrayals increase, the threat becomes a citywide crisis, pushing Michael into a desperate mission to expose Sidwell while protecting his loved ones. Meanwhile, the retirement of actor Maurice Benard, who has portrayed Sonny for over 3 decades, casts a long shadow. His departure signifies more than a storyline shift. It's a foundational transition that forces the writing team to recalibrate the trajectories of multiple characters. Benard's portrayal left an indelible impact on fans, making the task of scripting a worthy exit both a creative and emotional challenge. This period of transition is delicately balanced between honoring legacy and embracing innovation. Writers aim to deliver heartfelt closures while introducing new arcs, redefined relationships, and unexplored plotlines. Sonny evolves from a mob boss into a figure of growth and peace, symbolizing forgiveness, transformation, and a break from the violence of his past. Carly's evolving role further amplifies the transformation. Long known for her resilience and strategic prowess, Carly forms a powerful alliance with Brennan. Their partnership is not rooted in sentiment, but in a calculated vision for reshaping power in Port Charles. Brennan's modern leadership complements Carly's instincts, producing a dynamic capable of rewriting the city's rulebook. The Carly-Brennan alliance sends ripples across established networks. Traditional allies grow wary as the duo introduces unpredictable tactics. As trust lines blur, every move becomes a potential trigger for widespread upheaval. Smaller factions must choose allegiance, while rival powers scramble to devise counter-strategies. Their rise heralds a volatile era where adaptability is key and old hierarchies are dismantled. This power duo becomes both a catalyst and a warning. In the new Port Charles, those who fail to evolve will be left behind. As secrets unravel and loyalties are tested, the city braces for a high-stakes future defined by ambition, transformation, and strategic reinvention. Ultimately, Sonny's departure and the emergence of new leadership mark not the end, but a redefinition of power in General Hospital. As Port Charles steps into this uncharted phase, the question remains: who will survive, who will thrive, and who will be erased in this rewriting of the city's legacy? General Hospital spoilers reveal that Michael Corinthos may have some stunning news for Jason Morgan. Will a phone call add to Drew Kane's problems and leave Jason with a puzzle to solve? GHS fans will recall that it was Jason's idea for Willow Corinthos to fly to Germany and meet with Michael in person. Jason was hopeful that Michael and Willow could find some common ground for the sake of the kids. That's why Jason's suspicions will be raised when he gets updates on Willow's failed attempt to see Michael in Baden-Baden. Willow may ultimately complain to Jason about his suggestion being a flop since Michael refused her meeting, or so she thinks. Drew was actually the one who sabotaged that visit by bribing a clinic employee to claim Michael wanted nothing to do with Willow. Jason knows Michael awfully well, so he won't think that sounds like Michael at all once Willow explains what happened. Drew really didn't think this plan through since Jason can just call Michael up and ask him some questions. It won't take long at all for Michael to insist he never even knew Willow was in the building. Michael may assure Jason that if he'd known Willow was there to talk, especially about their children, then he would have absolutely spoken with her. Jason may realize the woman at the front desk lied and start thinking about who would have wanted to block this visit. Drew may emerge as Jason's top suspect rather quickly. Jason could easily fly back to Germany and put that employee through a grilling session. Maybe Jason could even offer her more money and promise to keep her out of trouble if she comes clean about who bribed her. Will the clinic employee rat out Congressman Kane for what he did? Jason might get the confirmation he needs to expose Drew's actions to Willow eventually. Michael himself could also call Willow to promise that he never had a clue she showed up there. Drew has bigger issues to contend with at the moment, thanks to the scandal Nina Reeves and Portia Robinson launched. But he shouldn't get away with what he did to stop Willow from seeing Michael. Portia and Nina have turned Drew into a victim with their plot. But let's not forget that Drew's made some pretty despicable moves of his own. Drew doesn't get a pass. So let's hope that Jason and Michael's team effort will expose at least one of his awful secrets. General Hospital spoilers update for Friday, May 2, reveals that Nina Reeves may send an SOS to Portia Robinson, while Danny Morgan and Rocco Falconieri have a wild night. Willow Corinthos will also await some confirmation, so some twists and turns are coming up. To kick things off, let's talk about Maxie Jones, since she's got a busy day ahead. In addition to dealing with someone's surprise ultimatum, Maxie will also find herself growing suspicious of Lois Cirillo. After Lois makes some strange comments about Brooke Lynn Quartermaine and basically pushes Maxie to step up for her, Maxie will have questions about why Lois seems so concerned. Meanwhile, Tracy Quartermaine will wrap her head around Brooke Lynn's latest confession. Brooke Lynn came clean about having a baby as a teen and giving him up for adoption, so Tracy will quiz her about her experience. When Tracy asks if Brooke Lynn regrets her choice, Brooke Lynn may admit it was the best thing for her son. At the same time, Brooke Lynn should wish she knew for sure that her now-grown child was Oak. Tracy seems poised to blast Lois over the secret soon, so Lois may panic over Brooke Lynn spilling too much to her wildcard grandmother. As for Dante Falconieri and Lulu Spencer, they'll have a discussion that involves some deep emotions. Lulu will act like Dante's putting Brooke Lynn's feelings first, but Dante will assure Lulu of how much she means to him. Since we know Lulu will make a love profession to Dante in the not-too-distant future, Friday's episode may be when she makes that bold declaration. At the bonfire, Jocelyn Jax will work with Vaughn to steal the thumb drive from Emma's pocket. If Emma and Giovanni Gio Palmieri go for a swim, that could leave Emma's shorts unattended and in the prime position for a theft. The goal is to steal the thumb drive, copy the info, and give the thumb drive back corrupted without Emma noticing. So there'll be a lot to accomplish in a short amount of time. Jocelyn and Vaughn will really have to work as a solid team here. Nearby, Danny will push Rocco to drink with him as they try to fit in with the college crowd. That could set the stage for some drunken mayhem as the night goes on. Since Max Scorpio will get updates on a crime happening, he might end up on the beach if there are reports of underage drinking or any other chaos. Will Mac break up the party and make some arrests? As for Nina, she'll probably send Portia an SOS now that Willow has gone with Drew Kane to GH for his blood test. Nina may push Portia to intervene and make a prediction about the disaster that's brewing if she doesn't. Will Portia force Brad Cooper to do her dirty work again and change Drew's test results? Willow will wait for confirmation on whether Drew's right about there being more to the story. If Drew's test results show he's taken ketamine, that's obviously going to raise some red flags. However, it's possible Brad will alter the test outcome and make it seem like Drew just spiraled out of control after having too much to drink. Isaiah Gannon will deliver the blood test results, so Drew and Willow have some important news headed their way. Back with Nina, she'll get a visit from Carly Spencer, who'll accuse her of plotting Drew's latest cheating spectacle. It looks like Nina will admit she did what needed to be done, so we'll see what Carly has to say about the Jacinda fiasco. In a pivotal storyline unfolding at General Hospital, Sonny Corinthos' long-anticipated heart surgery became the epicenter of a suspense-filled drama, setting the stage for betrayal, deception, and retaliation. As loved ones waited anxiously, top-tier surgeons worked with surgical precision to save the infamous mob figure. The operation was declared a success. Relief washed over those gathered. However, the real storm was just beginning. While Sonny recuperated, a covert assassination attempt occurred. A woman disguised as a nurse, Natalia, a trusted associate, approached with a syringe containing a lethal substance. Sonny's innate instincts triggered just in time. He overpowered the would-be killer and exposed her identity. Her tearful confession revealed she had been coerced by a powerful figure, Sidwell. Rather than exacting immediate revenge, Sonny made a calculated decision. He instructed Natalia to deceive Sidwell into believing the assassination succeeded. She complied, setting in motion a tactical operation led by Sonny's most loyal allies, including Jason, Brick, and Spinelli. With Sonny presumed dead, Sidwell dropped his guard, expanding his criminal enterprise, unaware that every move was being tracked. Behind the scenes, Sonny orchestrated an intricate plan from the shadows. His grueling recovery included intense physical therapy, while his strategic mind focused on dismantling Sidwell's empire. Meanwhile, Natalia operated under strict surveillance, her safety guaranteed only by her continued usefulness. Once Sidwell's location, a fortified mansion, was confirmed, Sonny and a small strike team executed a stealth infiltration. The confrontation was swift and personal. Sidwell, caught off guard and defenseless, attempted negotiation. Sonny rejected any form of deal. In a brutal final act, Sidwell's organization was methodically dismantled, his accounts drained, property seized, and legacy obliterated. News of Sonny's survival spread rapidly. Fear gripped his enemies, and former allies reaffirmed their loyalty. Though Natalia was granted temporary freedom, her betrayal ensured permanent exile. The experience reshaped Sonny, no longer just a leader in the criminal underworld, but a man hardened by near death and treachery. Simultaneously, General Hospital teases a chilling subplot that could reshape Port Charles. A new character, Professor Henry Hank Dalton, raised eyebrows with a name suspiciously linked to the late cult leader Shiloh Archer. During an April 28th encounter, Dalton's hesitant introduction, "I'm Henry Dalton. Hank," sparked speculation. Viewers quickly connected the dots. Was this an alias or a subtle resurrection? Theories abound. Some suggest Hank Dalton could be Shiloh reborn through surgery or disguise, leveraging an academic persona to re-infiltrate Port Charles. Others believe Dalton may be a loyal disciple, resurrecting the dawn of day ideology. In both scenarios, a larger conspiracy is implied, one possibly involving psychological manipulation and subliminal conditioning. Drew Kane's recent behavioral shifts have also fueled suspicion. Some speculate he may be under mind control, potentially tied to Dalton's presence, with roots tracing back to Shiloh's manipulative tactics. This opens a narrative gateway to deeper psychological themes and legacy trauma. Adding further intrigue, upcoming spoilers reveal that Jocelyn Jacks may uncover critical information about Dalton. Known for her investigative tenacity, Jocelyn's involvement could accelerate the unraveling of this potential cult resurgence, especially if evidence, artifacts, or encrypted messages links Dalton directly to Shiloh's legacy. The deliberate use of the name Hank suggests the General Hospital writers are orchestrating a slow burn reveal. Whether Dalton is a reimagined villain or a puppet of a larger scheme, the stakes are escalating. The emotional and psychological consequences promise to be profound as past traumas resurface and trust is tested. This layered arc, combining mob justice and psychological suspense, underscores the series' knack for merging personal redemption with high-stakes drama. As Sonny reclaims his dominion with renewed ferocity, and as Dalton's true identity looms, Port Charles braces for another wave of upheaval. In a gripping turn of events that shakes the very foundation of the Corinthos family, Carly Corinthos embarks on a personal mission to Germany and uncovers a revelation that no one could have predicted. What begins as a mother's concern for her son Michael's unusual behavior quickly escalates into one of the most emotionally charged and pivotal moments in recent General Hospital history. The story initiates when Willow returns from visiting Michael, who is receiving treatment in Germany, and informs Carly that Michael refused to see her. Despite their divorce, Willow's intentions were solely to discuss their custody situation, making Michael's refusal perplexing. Trusting her maternal instincts, Carly decides to travel to Germany herself to understand what's really happening. Upon arrival, Carly experiences a heartfelt reunion with Michael, who appears to be recovering well. Their emotional connection is rekindled, and the tension of past months briefly melts away. However, the serenity is shattered by an unanticipated shock. An unidentified patient in the same hospital room, disfigured by severe injuries, addresses Carly as Mom. The revelation is staggering. The patient, whose face is badly burned, insists he is Morgan Corinthos, Carly's son long believed dead. Initially overwhelmed by disbelief, Carly soon finds herself swayed by the unmistakable familiarity of his voice and the deeply personal answers he gives to her probing questions. Eventually, she becomes convinced Morgan is alive. Morgan reveals a harrowing backstory. Following the explosion that was presumed fatal, he was rescued by a covert organization that held him in psychological captivity. Forced to assume a new identity, he was trained for dangerous missions under constant manipulation. The group was recently dismantled in a violent conflict, leaving Morgan gravely injured and coincidentally placed in the same hospital treating Michael. Devastated by Morgan's suffering and the years lost, Carly vows to bring him home and shield him from further harm. She immediately contacts Sonny Corinthos, Morgan's father, who is stunned by the news. Unable to delay even a moment, Sonny flies to Germany for an emotional reunion. Confronted with the physical and emotional trauma Morgan has endured, Sonny is resolute in his promise to ensure his son's safety and healing. The family's focus shifts to preparing Morgan's return to Port Charles. Carly and Sonny, now united in purpose, plan to reintegrate Morgan into the Corinthos household and help him recover from his traumatic ordeal. Their renewed bond as parents becomes the cornerstone of this restoration, with hope driving their commitment. Morgan's miraculous survival is set to create widespread ripples throughout the community. The implications for family dynamics, personal relationships, and the broader narrative within General Hospital are profound. As the news spreads, Port Charles braces for the emotional impact and possible consequences of Morgan's reappearance. This storyline not only revives a beloved character, but also redefines the themes of loss, resilience, and redemption. It serves as a testament to the enduring strength of family ties and the possibility of healing even after unimaginable hardship. The Corinthos family, once fractured by tragedy, now stands on the brink of restoration, bound by love, driven by purpose, and prepared to face the challenges ahead. Monday's episode of General Hospital delivers a high-stakes blend of emotional revelations, strategic deception, and intensifying relationship dynamics. With secrets surfacing across Port Charles, characters are pushed to their emotional and moral limits. Lois and Maxie uncover hidden wounds. Lois Cerullo opens up to Maxie Jones about her growing concern for Brooklyn Quartermain, hinting at emotional turbulence on the horizon. Maxie, with her innate intuition, suspects a deeper, undisclosed truth lurking beneath Lois's composed demeanor, Their interaction sets the stage for a possible exposé of a long-buried family secret involving Brooke Lynn. Meanwhile, Tracy Quartermain's confrontation with Lois adds pressure. Tracy, potentially aware of Brooke Lynn's past involving a concealed adoption, pushes Lois for clarity, heightening the emotional intensity. Lulu and Dante reignite old flames. Lulu Spencer challenges Dante Falconieri about his emotional priorities, accusing him of favoring Brooke Lynn over her. The emotionally charged conversation triggers a heartfelt apology from Dante, and Lulu's vulnerability may culminate in a confession of lingering love. Their exchange raises the stakes for a possible rekindling of their complicated past romance. Brooke Lynn's painful past resurfaces. Brooke Lynn finds herself grappling with the emotional fallout of revealing her teenage pregnancy and adoption decision to Tracy. Tracy, showing a rare compassionate side, presses her to reflect on her regrets, prompting a deep introspection into motherhood and unresolved grief. Maxie faces a mysterious ultimatum following events from the previous episode. Maxie is confronted with a serious ultimatum from an undisclosed figure. Whether personal or professional, this dilemma places her in a precarious position, with significant consequences hinging on her next move. Danny Morgan's influence over Rocco Falconieri leads the pair into risky territory, including underage drinking at a beach bonfire. The situation grows increasingly dangerous, hinting at potential fallout if no one intervenes in time. Amid the bonfire backdrop, Emma Scorpio Drake enjoys a lighthearted moment with Giovanni Copellieri. However, academic rivalries surface as Jocelyn Jacks, assisted by tech-savvy Vaughn, plots to sabotage Emma by corrupting her thumb drive, critical to her class project. The question remains whether Emma will detect the scheme before it derails her academic progress. Carly Corinthos confronts Nina Reeves over her suspected involvement in a manipulative plot targeting Drew Kane and Willow Corinthos. Backed by surveillance footage, Carly forces Nina into a defensive position, threatening to expose her schemes. Meanwhile, a critical blood test scheduled at General Hospital may reveal tampered results, with Portia Robinson and Brad Cooper potentially orchestrating a cover-up. Police Commissioner Max Scorpio uncovers signs of emerging criminal operations. While the source remains unclear, connections to Drew's targeting or the bonfire incident are under scrutiny. Max's investigation promises to uncover pivotal information that could reshape the town's safety. Rumors swirl around Alexis Davis and her possible entanglement with Jen Sidwell, a known antagonist in Port Charles. Despite their contrasting personas, the chemistry is undeniable. The show appears to be testing audience reception to this potential pairing, tapping into Alexis's established pattern of attraction to morally complex men. A review of Alexis's romantic history reveals a string of perilous relationships, from mob boss Sonny Corinthos to manipulative Rick Lansing and violent Julian Jerome. Each partnership has mirrored her proclivity for danger, making Sidwell a logical next chapter in her ongoing saga of conflicted romance. In a shocking turn, Jordan Ashford delivers what appears to be a heartfelt confession to Anna Devane, expressing concerns over Mayor Laura Collins' ties to Sonny. However, this admission is a calculated ploy, part of a secret plan between Jordan and Laura to mislead Drew Quartermain and Jen Sidwell. Their true objective: to entrap their adversaries in a complex scheme designed to destabilize potential threats to Port Charles. As deception deepens, alliances shift and emotional entanglements complicate already fragile relationships. The residents of Port Charles must navigate the fallout of secrets long kept and choices newly made. In the latest developments from General Hospital, tensions escalate as Drew becomes the target of a calculated scheme orchestrated by Nina and Portia. Their objective was clear: to discredit Drew publicly and irrevocably damage his reputation. To execute their plan, they enlisted a woman named Justinda, whose role was to get close to Drew and manipulate him into an embarrassing situation. A critical part of the plot involved Portia acquiring a substance referred to as hay, which she intended to discreetly add to Drew's drink. The chemical was expected to alter his behavior, pushing him to act erratically. Jacinda's involvement proved successful, as Drew began displaying wild, impulsive behavior in public, drastically contrasting his usual composed demeanor. Eyewitnesses, including Jordan and Lulu, observed the shocking transformation. While Jordan attempted to mitigate the situation, Lulu took a different approach. Relying on her journalistic instincts, she captured the incident on video, recognizing the potential impact it could have if shared. Her intention was to expose what she perceived as Drew's true character. Once the footage surfaced online, the fallout was immediate. Drew's image and political aspirations faced significant damage. While it's unclear if he suspects foul play yet, the video's circulation has effectively halted any future influence he may have hoped to retain. Speculation now surrounds Drew's next move. Should he discover Lulu's role in exposing him, retaliation seems likely. There are growing concerns that Drew, feeling cornered and betrayed, might resort to extreme measures. As the community watches the situation unfold, the question remains: will someone intervene before Drew's quest for revenge takes a dangerous turn? In a dramatic turn of events on General Hospital, longtime secrets have unraveled with powerful emotional consequences for the residents of Port Charles. Recent episodes revealed that Brooke Lynn Quartermaine secretly gave birth to Dante Falconeri's child years ago and surrendered the baby for adoption without his knowledge. This revelation, shared first with Tracy Quartermaine, set off a sequence of deeply personal confrontations and shocking discoveries. Tracy, stunned by the depth of Brooke Lynn's remorse and the magnitude of her past decision, immediately sought answers. She turned to Lois Cirillo, suspecting that Brooke Lynn's mother had known about the pregnancy and may have influenced the outcome. Through persistent questioning, Tracy uncovered the bombshell truth. Brooke Lynn's son is none other than Gio, a young man already integrated into their lives. The emotional weight of this revelation hit both Brooke Lynn and Gio with intense force. Their reunion was raw and poignant, capturing the layered complexity of long-lost familial connections. Brooke Lynn, overwhelmed with guilt and love, confessed her past to Gio, who struggled with a mixture of disbelief, anger, and hope. Despite the emotional chaos, Gio embraced her, marking the beginning of a long-overdue bond between mother and son. Meanwhile, Dante's own reaction to learning he had a son he never knew about was no less intense. Grappling with regret over lost time and missed milestones, Dante initiated his own heartfelt reunion with Gio. The encounter was layered with emotional depth as both men navigated the complexities of a relationship forged by blood but denied by circumstance. Tracy's involvement was pivotal. Her confrontation with Lois exposed not only a concealed family history but also sparked wider repercussions. Lois, burdened by guilt, was forced to acknowledge her part in shaping both Brooke Lynn's and Gio's lives through silence. The ripple effect of this revelation altered family dynamics, challenging long-held assumptions and catalyzing overdue reconciliation. Across Port Charles, the revelation triggered emotional reverberations. While some relationships were strained by the truth, others found paths to healing. Brooke Lynn, though burdened by past decisions, took a bold step toward transparency and repair. Gio, thrust into the center of a tangled lineage, discovered the love and belonging he had unknowingly missed. Dante, acknowledging the years he can't recover, committed himself to building a future with his son, one grounded in truth rather than regret. As the Quartermaine and Falconeri families adjust to this seismic shift, the broader GH community watches as new bonds are forged and old wounds begin to close. This chapter in General Hospital underscores the enduring theme of redemption and the unbreakable power of family. Though born in secrecy and sorrow, the reunion between Brooklyn, Dante, and Gio may ultimately lead to strength, unity, and a renewed sense of purpose for all involved. In recent developments within General Hospital, the unfolding narrative surrounding Drew Cain has shifted dramatically from a trusted partner to a manipulative antagonist, culminating in catastrophic consequences for Willow and the entire Port Charles community. Initially portrayed as a devoted family man, Drew's facade crumbles as a web of hidden crimes, coercive tactics, and psychological manipulation is uncovered. Financial anomalies, threatening communications, and secret custody agreements paint a dark portrait of a man obsessed with control. As Willow uncovers these truths, her emotional landscape transitions from confusion to resolve. Once dependent on Drew, she becomes increasingly aware of the threat he poses, particularly to her children. Determined to escape the toxic relationship, Willow begins a calculated plan to sever ties. Legal consultations, evidence gathering, and discreet alliances form her strategy. Her growing resistance only accelerates Drew's descent into instability. As his psychological grip tightens, he resorts to dangerous tactics, emotional abuse, intimidation, and ultimately, violence. Willow's transformation from victim to symbol of resistance reshapes the power dynamics in Port Charles. Allies like Nina and Portia mobilize strategic operations to support her, including legal preparations, escape contingencies, and surveillance to document Drew's misconduct. Despite their efforts, Drew escalates his behavior, triggering a dangerous standoff where Willow's life hangs in the balance. Her eventual demise at Drew's hands sends shockwaves throughout the community. The tragedy serves as a grim reminder of the consequences when power, obsession, and unchecked control replace empathy and love. The fallout not only devastates Willow's loved ones, Michael, Lena, and Carly, but also forces a moral reckoning across Port Charles. Michael's unexpected return at Willow's funeral becomes a pivotal moment. No longer just a grieving son, he emerges as a calculated force determined to expose Drew's crimes. His strategic dismantling of Drew's schemes, through forensic accounting, public alliances, and legal action, restores a semblance of accountability. Drew, now unmasked as both a psychological threat and criminal mastermind, further devolves. His delusions of grandeur lead him to manipulate Willow's death as political leverage, attempting to rewrite his narrative as a grieving protector while silencing dissent. His persecution of Michael escalates, asset seizures, reputational sabotage, and targeted defamation, exposing his intent to erase any opposition. This destructive arc implicates others, notably Sasha, who is pushed to the brink witnessing the erosion of values and relationships she fought to preserve. Port Charles, once a symbol of community and resilience, teeters on collapse under Drew's authoritarian tactics. Yet, in this darkness, a resurgence emerges. An unexpected alliance between Jason and Michael signals a decisive countermove. Combining Jason's calculated resolve with Michael's strategic insight and moral clarity, the duo becomes a formidable opposition. Their joint mission to restore justice reinvigorates hope and reaffirms the enduring strength of familial bonds and ethical resistance. In essence, General Hospital delivers a storyline marked by emotional intensity, psychological warfare, and societal reflection. Willow's legacy transcends her tragic end, becoming a catalyst for renewal. Her courage, coupled with the unwavering resolve of her allies, underscores a central theme. When faced with tyranny and deceit, the pursuit of truth and justice must prevail, no matter the cost. In a dramatic turn of events on General Hospital, Sonny Corinthos continues to reel from the recent explosion that devastated his penthouse. While initial investigations yielded no solid leads, a revelation from Brick turned Sonny's world upside down. His own nephew, Drew Cain, orchestrated the attack. The episode opens with Sonny reviewing the investigative timeline with Brick, still grappling with an unknown perpetrator designation. However, Brick's lead to a safe house produces damning surveillance photos. Drew, the former hero of Port Charles, was caught placing the device. Driven by a singular mission to protect Willow at all costs, Drew's transformation from loyal family member to calculated saboteur is rooted in his belief that Sunny's empire and Michael's risky moves posed a threat to her. He meticulously engineered the explosion to target Michael's apartment and Sunny's presence, ensuring maximum emotional and political impact while minimizing unintended casualties. At a secret meeting on the docks, Drew handed Brick a flash drive containing falsified evidence to mislead investigators and frame rival enemies. Despite their history, Brick warned Drew of the consequences, but Drew remained resolute, convinced of his noble motives. As Sunny and Carly confront Drew at the police station, the encounter reveals not just betrayal but a complex mix of obsession and warped righteousness. Drew justifies his actions as a means to an end, purging Port Charles of its corrupt influences and securing Willow's future. However, his actions isolated Michael in a German hospital, blocked Willow from visiting him, and nearly killed both Michael and Sunny. The flash drive further implicates Drew in the Los Angeles shooting at Sunny's residence, expanding the scope of his sabotage beyond Port Charles. Brick, burdened by guilt over his role in enabling Drew, resolves to fully cooperate with law enforcement, supplying financial records, CIA reports, and surveillance data to support both criminal and civil actions. Back in Berlin, Michael begins recovering as Willow races to reunite with him. Her heartbreak deepens upon learning the extent of Drew's deception, shattering her trust and anchoring her allegiance with Sunny and Carly. In the aftermath, Port Charles braces for ongoing legal battles and media scrutiny. Drew faces charges including attempted murder, terrorism, and conspiracy, with prosecutor Amanda Sinclair preparing a robust case using evidence provided by Brick and international partners. Meanwhile, Sunny's organization is tested under the spotlight, prompting a strategic public response from Sunny and Carly, reaffirming their commitment to family and justice. Detective Harold Benson launches a comprehensive review of cold cases linked to Drew's schemes, as whispers of his remaining allies stir concerns of continued instability. Despite Drew's incarceration, his ominous final words, "You can't stop what's coming," linger over Port Charles, leaving residents to confront a turbulent future where every loyalty is questioned and every alliance carries risk. The fallout from Drew Kane's betrayal extends far beyond personal relationships. It reshapes the Corinthos family's future, shakes the criminal underworld, and introduces a volatile chapter of reckoning in Port Charles. As legal and emotional battles unfold, General Hospital promises deeper revelations and the unrelenting pursuit of justice. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.